Welcome to another episode of Black Jewel Tarot. And I'm Jewel, and I have my producer Elle with me today, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, subscribers, for your support. Keep it up. Power to the people. And so, in this episode, as we went through, we're going through the Fool's Journey, but we're going to talk about the Devil card and what that has in store for us in our own personal life during that our fool's journey. Each of us is on our own accord, right? So thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about getting into this episode. But before we get started, I want to make sure to remind you that you can book your recovery life coaching with Reverend Tiny with the link in the bio right below. As we've always said, check the link in the bio. You'll have everything that you need to know. All the information is there. We look forward to seeing you very soon. So here we are again, Triple D's. 50 years of hip hop, the crack epidemic, and the trauma left behind. Our full journey has led us to our current moment, which is the devil. And I guess I'm just curious about where have you experienced within the crack epidemic, this card showing up. And this card can be very controversial. So, because our own indoctrination, especially around colonization. So I'm curious about what the meanings of that is, and I'm sure a lot of people are curious about it as well. So, please take us away, Reverend Tiny.
Every time I hear Reverend Tiny, it just blows me aback that I went through all of those steps to become the minister, and being the jewel that I am is hard work. So when I hear Tiny, it's like I know I'm talking to family, right? I know I'm
Yeah.
talking to my family. They still call me Tiny.
Mm, that's it. And then to add the Reverend on top of it, it's like, okay, you
Put some
elevate.
spec on my name. Put some spec on my name. That's I'm still Tiny, but you're gonna respect my name now.
It's the experience for sure, and the wisdom, that part.
That part. I'll always be Tiny though.
I'm putting my fist up. There it is.
Yeah, Tiny got me through many a day. Yeah, yeah. She ain't no joke though.
Go ahead and tell us about it. Then I'm listening.
We not no, not this episode. But you know what? Reverend Tiny did show. Tiny was definitely the devil. My grandmother called me a Tasmanian devil. She was like, "You like a bull in a china closet." So I've always had this big energy. I was always doing fuck shit. Like I could tell you, me and my cousin Goober, we had in the creek. We had tagged my grandma's house.
Oh
Like,
no.
and then she was like, Tiny, what would you do that for? And I'm like, I don't know. I did, I was definitely the devil, just do devious stuff. As a child, yeah, I did. I was the baby and, playing tricks, and I've learned wisdom. But here, when we have this card right here, this is the African tarot deck, right? And so the horns is always all demonic, and this is demonic, and the flames. And the people down here are really hard to see, but they're chained, and they're chained around the neck, but it's loose. And so the devil is representation of our addictions, right? It's a representation of our behaviors, our poor choices, attitudes, ego, all of that, the negative stuff. But then as individuals, we have the power to lift the chain off. Like it's not cutting us and we're dying. We're comfortable with it. And I like to say to bring that out because as individuals, we get comfortable in a situation and we're not looking at everything as we should. And that's what the devil card is about. Being comfortable in your bad behavior, being in your bad behavior, bad decisions, your eating, your addictions, all of that comes up with the devil card. And it's up for us to change that dynamic. We have that power. We have that power to get in line and attuned with the Spirit, the Most High. Take the chain off and be free. And then in numerology, it also, and it's the sign of the Gemini. I'm a Gemini. And then in numerology, it's like a religious connotation. And it breaks down, the 15 breaks down to 4, which is stability. And we have that power to take that back. That's what I would say about the devil card. It's really, it's a demon that is watching over us, and we have that ability to change that. So if we can take away the self-interest, and like I said, just always look for the good and try to change. The devil is the shadow, and it's nothing to be scary or be scared of, or it's demonic. Or I love going through the tarot and the archetypes because it just brings out where we are in our lives. And when the devil shows up, it's just, self-interest and choices and consequences from those choices. Like, when being on dope. I was like, when I was on dope, I had to find hope, and that's, let it go. One thing they always said in the AA meetings is 1,000. One is too many, and 1,000 is never enough. And that's how we get comfortable with chasing that dragon and not seeing it. And that was a big one for me, because a couple times, and many a time, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just go out and have a good time. Or, me and my homegirl, it was usually me and my homegirl, Keisha. Like, we just gonna kick it tonight, and it just be some wow, just turn out to be a wow party. And being comfortable is where I decided to let go. Like, this is not me. This is not what I want to continue my life to be. I have a son, and it just wasn't cool no more. So how it showed up for me in the crack epidemic, and that devil, it's cocaine's a powerful drug. Rick James said it best, right? But being able to let go is even more powerful. Fighting that demon is even more powerful. Taking self-interest away and not being self-centered is more powerful. Aligning yourself to your true higher purpose and God source energy is more powerful. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my recovery journey, and seeing myself and how I showed up and how I had to change and take my own chains off. And I'm not saying every day is a good day, and I'm great and all my world is perfect and this. I'm not saying that by far. What I'm saying is that if you want to, you can change. If you want to get in control of your life, you can get in control of your life.
That's kind of powerful, actually, because then that places responsibility back in our hands, or it places agency back in our hands. Especially when you mentioned that the chain was loose. It was like, I definitely have been guilty of being unaware of the fact that I was sabotaging myself. And I
Mm.
was myself in circumstances that I wasn't even locked to. The door was already open. All I had to do was turn the knob. So I'm looking at this card a lot different, a lot differently. And so I'm curious about, what does it mean in that fool's journey when you're coming from the temperance, right? And so let me go back. We were at the death, then we went to temperance, then we went to the devil.
And so it was funny because the deaf card had came up like the fourth or fifth card after I was looking for it. I was like, okay, we need to recap on the deaf because this is transition.
Mm.
And yesterday on my power stopped and it was like 1313. I was like, okay, okay.
Yep. And the death part is the number 13. Hmm.
Hmm. So my one of my favorite numbers. And in the fool's journey, allowing transition, allowing every card is a transition. Every day in our life is a new day to transition into the greater good, the higher purpose. The devil card, it's a wow factor. It's setting back. When you talk about the temperance, it's patience, it's angelic. And I don't really get into angels and demons too much, but we have that power. The temperance asks us to look at our own intuition and to be patient, allowing our inner knowing to flow, not being just judgmental, letting go, and working with spirit, our higher selves. And I like what you said, our own agency. The AA is, it brought me back to the AA program where it's not a religious program, it's a spiritual program. And a lot of people look for religion and look for a God to make the changes or come down and do the adjustments for them. The temperance, the devil inside is you realize you got to do it yourself and acknowledge yourself. So working a spiritual program, knowing that you're a spiritual being having a human experience.
Mm.
And when that starts to unravel, it's like, what? I'm a god. I'm this. I can make magic. I'm magic. That's what they don't teach us in these religious institutions. That we are the creators and the ones that have the power to move the world. Generator, operator, destroyer, God. We are the gods. So when the devil comes up, shows up in your life and it's more prevalent, set back. The temperance, set back. Death, set back. It's all an opportunity to reflect and then make a choice of how we want to navigate. The knowing. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. I guess what I'm also learning too is that in each stage of the process, in this non-linear pathway, it's all been based around developing a sense of knowing.
That's
Uh,
true.
yeah. And
That's,
that feels very connected to developing a spiritual practice.
and it's important for each individual to develop their own spiritual practice. Of course, we have teachers and sages, right? But at the end of the day, we have to do things that moves our own spirit. Because what's good for me is not good for you. And what's good
Mm-hmm.
on Tuesday ain't good for me on Friday
Mm-hmm.
for you, right? It's definitely individual. Like, yeah, as a collective, we can go under one hub, but other people have different gifts and need to be expressed in different ways and move that in that accord. Everything ain't for everybody. I was asked a question a while ago, and she was like, "How do you know who's your angels and are my angels, guides, spirit guides the same as yours?" And I was like, "That's you got to go within and find out." That's a self-reflection and analogy. You got to know who you dealing with. I can't tell you who you dealing with because even if I told you, you probably wouldn't believe it. So sometimes we got to ask ourselves those questions before we even go to somebody to ask. We got to get real with our own selves. We got to get real with our own selves. And whatever that reality is, we have options. We could choose to stay stuck. That's an option. And I'm kind of laughing because I had a choice and I was there and we got options.
Mm. Well, I'd love to transition into this options for Black Jewel Tarot reading. We all got the option to choose. So when you're ready to choose, and I think you should be ready to choose very soon to take your spiritual practice to the next level, I suggest you book an appointment with Black Jewel Tarot.
And
Um,
I'm sorry, and for the month of August, for my Leos out there, my nephew, Nino, don't do it to him, Nino. He transitioned by the hands of the police. And in honor of his name, Nigel Gales, Nino, Big Nino, No Nice, I want to give $5, because niggas got five on it. I want to give $5 tarot readings up until August 6th, which is his birthday. So, $5 readings for the Leos out there. $5 readings for the Leos coming up in August is my promotion. Sorry for interrupting you, but I wanted to get that out there. And holler at your girl. I'm here.
yeah, and the way you find that information will be down in the description. So go ahead, as always, and click the link for Calendly and go ahead and book your appointment or send an email. All of that information will be down in the description. We look forward to hearing from you, especially on this $5 Leo season. And with that being said, we Black Jewel Tarot, and we out.
We out.